Looks like we bought 3 minutes. I'm sure everybody else is noticing what I'm noticing. It's been a long time since we've been to these conferences. I've done literally hundreds of them when I ran a public company. And it's kind of nice to get back out and actually see people for a change. So I'll introduce Catalyst OrthoScience. It's actually a it's a venture-backed company with revenues. We are a total shoulder replacement company, a fairly small company based in Naples, Florida. It's not a bad place to have duty. We actually started the company with an invention by the founding surgeon that was based on his experience in the shoulder on the anatomic side, and he really wanted to see more repeatable outcomes, better patient results, better range of motion. He wanted to hit the center of rotation on a repeatable basis, even for a surgeon who only does 12 a year. So he wanted to make sure it was a simple procedure. And that's what we have. Our system is a two-piece system. You have a humeral component, a glenoid component. It's very simple. The humeral component is not based off the current technology from every other company on the market where they cut off the humeral head. Instead, it's kind of a knee theory where they actually use chamfer cuts, and then it's based on 4 posts sitting on top. And it's not a spherical design like everybody else. It's also elliptical. You can't tell by these pictures, but we've done about 3,000 of these. We're getting great results. And 2 weeks ago, we announced our reverse total shoulder. Both of these are based off single instrument trays, which our competition is typically 5, 6 trays. We're down to 1. So we can do these cases in the ASC, and we get great results. Real strong seasoned leadership team. I've been doing this for about 30 years. I started with Stryker Corporation, and then I ran RTI Surgical for 15 years as CEO. And then many of these people have worked for me in the past, or that I've had good long relationships with. I think everyone on this team has 15, 20 years experience in orthopedics. On the board, Steve Goldberg is the founder, and then Wayne Wallace and Carter McNabb are the 2 venture capital-based individuals who are in the company today. This is an addressable market for the anatomic side. It's a growing spot. The shoulder is the fastest growing segment in orthopedics. And then this is the total reverse, which is a much bigger market. I get asked a number of times what makes the surgeon make the choice. Sometimes they don't have a decision to make, because if the patient has no rotator cuff or a compromised rotator cuff, they're going to get a reverse total shoulder. If they have a rotator cuff, they're a candidate for an anatomic shoulder. What's the difference? Anatomics typically get better range of motion. That's what they really want. And we hear stories about ours all the time with people that can actually go back to normal activities within a couple of months, including golf. So Catalyst really could only play for the first 4 years that we were on the marketplace. We came on in 2016 with our first approval. The first segment of the market was pretty small in the stemless anatomic market in the United States only. We're a US-only based company. Now with the reverse, we play in a much, much greater market. And frankly, right now we're in a limited use pattern with 10 surgeons, and we really need to increase our investment here significantly. This is a huge opportunity for us. This has been the quarterly results of the company going back several years, and you can see the COVID impact. COVID shut down elective surgery in the country. We didn't do a case between March 15 and May 15 at all. So we were shut down completely. We got started again in the second half of the year, picked up some momentum. We're still dealing with COVID cancellations even this month. So we're still seeing them. But you can really see the company's taken off. We hit records in September, October, March, again in April, and we'll do it again in May. They really have recovered. We did about $5 million in 2020. We'll do more like 11 or 12 this year. This is a prediction for the future. Of course, there's a little bit of these launches coming into play. In 2021, it's going to be about 8 million anatomic and only about 2 to 3 million reverse. In 2022, the reverse catches up. And that'll happen really, really fast. All of the surgeons we have, and it's over 120, want to use the reverse, and all of them do at least 2 to 3 times the amount of reverse that they do anatomics. So that's definitely going to be a huge home run for us. And then obviously the numbers get bigger from there. We're at a place now where large distributors who represent other companies are seeing that disruption from Stryker buying Wright, Smith & Nephew buying Integra, and other companies doing things in our industry that are giving us more opportunities, and distributors are coming to us wanting to convert over. So it's a good opportunity for us. This is our balance sheet. Not really much to cover here except that we do expect to take on investment. I'm here actually. We're raising a D round today. This will be our last run, fundraising, about $12 million coming in, we hope. And we'll hope to close that in June or July and then move forward. And then we've also got term sheets on for line of credit or term loan from some of the venture banks. So right now, $29 million has been raised and a $1 million line of credit thus far. We raised, during COVID, which I was pretty pleased with, we raised $8.7 million in a convertible note led by our 2 VCs, but also with several new significant investors jumping in. So we're pretty pleased with the results we saw, just trying to keep the company afloat during COVID. We actually also got PPP money ×2, so we felt really comfortable with that. And then we took that money and we invested in R&D. While we couldn't sell as much as we'd like to, we invested heavily in the R&D side, and that's what allowed us to get this product launch on time. So now we're just starting with that launch, and we are needing to increase money to buy more inventory, instruments, and hire more salespeople. We're building a modified direct sales force in the orthopedic world. It's something we think is going to work to our advantage. So we're really placing all of our efforts in hiring the right kinds of people to drive the right kind of business for us that's sustainable, not just a quick spike up. So that's really Catalyst. In a nutshell, they asked me to do this in 8 minutes. I think I've done 8 minutes in the past. It's pretty rare for me to do, but 8 minutes is what they gave us. So at this stage of the game, I think Catalyst is a great company. It's in great position to do something that I've only done a few times in my career, which is launch a really special product into a hot market with a rising tide. I think this is a good chance for us. Thank you for your time.